This is a little vignette on Bahrain, which probably took place, was photographed after the main event of the initial loading from Ras Tanura.
Oh yes, yes. There's the transportation to Bahrain.
There's the water taxi. How long did you say it took to make that trip?
As I remember, it was about 3 to 4 hours, George, depending on the wind and the sea.
And the shamal.
And the particular craft that you got. Yeah, and the shamal. Sometimes you didn't go at all. There's that's the pier at Bahrain, Manama. And the Souk. There's a wonderful food shop. Organic foods, George.
Organic all the way.
All the way.
And the smells were wonderful.
Oh, they were, weren't they?
Oh, I can smell it now. Visitors in the Souk.
Yeah.
Then and now.
On the road to Awali.
In terms of the starting of operations, a few years ahead of Saudi Arabia.
Oh, yes. 6 years.
Yeah, 6 years was a long time.
Oh, Button Bottom Creek. It's still there, I guess.
Still operates.
You can see why most of the buttons went into the bottom of the creek. They they beat the dirt out, and a few buttons went with it. Understand why standard Arab clothing had few buttons.
They couldn't survive. Pick yourself a flat rock and go to work on it.
That's why cement sacks made such good material for working clothes.
I think I see one of your shirts there, Tom.
There's Awali.
Awali.
Look at that wide verandas on those buildings.
Verandas, yeah.
No air conditioning originally.
Built up on the jebel to catch any breeze that comes across.
Right. They're sort of short on trees too, aren't they?
Yes, that's a vast difference.
This must be people preparing for the king to arrive. Yes, there's the Sheikh of Bahrain sitting down, and his brother beside him. And there's the king.
There's King Abdulaziz.
And who is that? Ed Skinner?
Maybe Ed Skinner and.
I think on the right is Belgrave.
Yeah, that would have been
tall one.
Yeah.
And just to the right of the king is who was running Bahrain then? I don't remember. Is it showing that's the old fort. Or that's the fort at Rafah. That's it. There's the well. That's a new well. It's got a concrete cistern there.
Yeah. They still have the same old type wheel.
The same goat skins. Tell you, there's nothing like getting a drink of water out of a new goat skin.
Out of a new goat skin,
Yeah.
feel like it puts you in touch with the goat.
It does, indeed.
The Portuguese fort. Portuguese were a very intrepid band who have gotten out there and established these fortifications. Did you tell me that this had now been excavated?
Yes, the Danes have been there for about 15 years. Portuguese left about 1510. They've discovered civilizations going back to about 3000 BC.
There's the twin minarets of the
Bahrain.
Bahrain.
And there's the first gate. They've taken the gate down now. The welcoming gate that's there so many years.
We know he wasn't in a helicopter, so he must have been on top of the jebel.
Yeah, he was on top of Umarus. There we are. Got the garage.
Some of the old-timers looking at this will be able to pick out their house.
Yeah, the accounting office. And there's where I lived, way in the background there.
It was home.
Yeah. After a few months on the desert in a tent, it looked great.
1938 must have been quite a year getting ready for this, in early 39.
Was I glad I was out at Magla, where it was nice and peaceful and quiet. That's where the
Yeah.
Saudis were living in those days. There's what later became the hospital,
Mhm.
accounting office, dining hall, dormitories.
A little short on trees at that time, Tom.
Sure, we're short on trees. Yeah. There's Omarus. I don't know what number well that is. They must be lined up here waiting for the king to appear.
I mean, you weren't on this welcoming committee.
No, I wasn't on the well. Not here. We had the king go through our camp, which was quite an experience. But we
This
didn't
is-
get in on all this.
This is a full dress operation.
All this hoopla. This must have been a great experience. And must have been the king with the outriders on the fenders. The king is a big man.
Really a powerful man.
King Saud behind him later,
Yeah.
or his oldest son later, king. That's Abdurrahman al-Gasabi, I think. Ah, the Sheikh of Bahrain. Comes in style.
Came, after all, he had in oil production already.
That's right. He's been collecting those royalties.
Really
Yes,
had the-
it's ironical, isn't it? In those days, the Sheikh of Bahrain was far more affluent than
That's right.
the king
I
of
remember
Saudi
hearing
Arabia.
of his dispensing largesse both on the ruler of Kuwait, his cousin, and
Oh, yes.
the ruler of Qatar. Wish they'd saved me one of those Phaetons. They'd be worth a mint now. A classic car operation.
One thing you can tell what time of day it is, George.
It's the evening prayers.
No, the Asr prayers, the afternoon prayers.
The afternoon
They're
prayers.
facing west toward Mecca, and the shadows are mid-afternoon.
This man's a little late.
We have considerable latitude in the time. This must be in the camp that they set up,
That they set up
for the king's
king.
party. There's Fred
There's
Davies.
Fred.
He came out from the States, I take it, for this. Oh, yes. There's Saud, later King Saud, behind his father.
There's Floyd.
And Floyd and Yusuf Yassin. Super tanker of its day.
That's right.
10, 12,000 tons,
About
George?
10 or 12,000 tons. They dressed ship for the occasion.
What did I read in PIW? That last month that they had 55 super tankers lying
55 super tankers lying
off
waiting
Ras
for
Tanura.
cargo. They had a little weather and a few minor problems with loading facilities, and any one of the ships lying in weight were probably in the 215 to 400,000 deadweight ton, as compared to this at 10,000 to 12,000.
So, my word.
There's the manifold system down at Ras Tanura.
I don't know who that is that's there apparently helping Floyd. They're trying to explain to the king, I guess, what he's supposed to do.
I'd say he put his hand to it very well.
Oh, yes. Floyd gets a hand in now. Floyd's in his white suit. We all wore white suits in those days.
For state occasions.
Yeah. That looked like possibly Max Steineke there. Well, farewell to
the river.
Al Khobar, returning to Bahrain. Isn't that a magnificent sail?
They're still there. The Dow still sail the Gulf.
That's a great one. And that's the end.